Welcome back to Coffee Chats with Mo and Bro, episode 7. Cheers,
Hello.
bro.
Cheers, bro.
Thank you for my coffee once again.
That's okay. What
Got
was it? The ice americano today?
Did you get me the sweetener?
Yes, I did.
And what did you get?
I went with the ice latte, but I went with the Rapture blend,
What do you normally go?
just the house blend.
Yeah, because
I
they've
thought-
got 4 different options there, I think,
yeah.
hey?
I thought I'd spice it up, so went with Rapture. Just sounded the best. So
Feeling in a rapture mood.
yeah, well, we'll see if this podcast goes all right.
Does it taste different?
A little bit,
Yeah.
but good. In
Yeah.
a good way.
Yeah,
in a good
it's a good coffee shop that we have, just one of the locals, so it's really nice and handy how
Yeah.
close it is. As usual, team, feel free to grab a coffee with us, listen to us, sit down, chill. Maybe if you're doing your workout, continue to listen and smash it as you go, or if you're doing your stretches, whatever it may be, come and chill with us. We'll cover our 4 topics, so something to do with nutrition, training, a lifestyle tip, and then also business related as well. So do you want to share a little bit about what we do here at Motion Fitness for the first time listeners?
Yeah, so Monique is my sister, and we run our training and nutrition business, just helping people get in shape. So we do that through our online platform. We support you. We've created a community just to help build people's awareness and knowledge around what they should be doing to get the results they're after. So we've been doing it now together for 7 months,
Yeah.
7-8 months.
Yeah. 8 months maybe.
Yeah, and time flies.
Time flies.
But we're getting great results with our clients. They're all happy.
Yeah, and we're enjoying it as well.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good seeing the progression, and the messages that we receive always make our days. So,
Yeah, they definitely do. But yeah, that's what we do here at Motion Fitness, help clients change their lifestyle through health and fitness. So we'll touch on our first topic, which is our nutrition topic.
We're doing 4 topics again today,
Yeah,
right?
4 topics. I did mention that, but
Oh.
Brandon clearly wasn't listening to that. Maybe it's a
early
rapture
in the
coffee.
morning here.
It's a rapture coffee. Maybe it's playing on him. Wow, you really weren't listening.
I might peek later on in the podcast.
Do I just talk and you just zone out?
Pretty much. I wasn't even expecting that first question from you. I was like, damn.
Oh shit.
Lucky I know what I do.
Sorry, bro. But yeah, like Brandon said, we're doing the 4 topics. So we'll touch on nutrition first because it's a massive aspect when it comes to trying to lose weight and just our health and fitness journey in general. So an interesting one, if you were to start over, what is something that you would try and like cater towards when it comes to your nutrition side of things? If you were to do it all again from the start.
I was to start from day one,
Yeah.
and I wasn't sure what to do. Like, I would actually just hire someone.
Yeah.
And I have hired someone in the past.
Mm-hmm.
When I've been doing like a photo shoot and really trying to lean up and really needing to know certain things, I think it's important to just, you're always going to pay for things one way or the other. It's either going to be through time or money.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always get to your end result, but do you want that to be 2, 3, 4 years of just being in the wilderness and not knowing what you're doing? Or do you just want to speed that up, bite the bullet? Obviously, you got to pay a bit, but learn from someone who knows what they're doing, can teach you, and you get the results a hell of a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And your understanding will grow a lot quicker. And I just think it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, that is massive. Like, I actually didn't hire someone when I was fresh and I didn't really know what I was doing. And because of that, it did take me longer to get the results I wanted. Now, obviously, studying it, we understand what you need to do to get your result. But when I didn't know, it was just a lengthy process, which could have just been done a lot quicker. So it was a bit of a learning curve to look back on, but you can always get your money back, but you can't get your time back. So I think that's super important to remember.
100%. And I think it's just part of it. Like, you're going to have to learn somehow. And we've paid for things in the past, whether it be for our business or just to speed up our progression.
Yeah.
And obviously, sometimes you don't want to do it, but if you're putting money into your health, is it really an expense?
Yeah.
You've only really got your health, and when you're if you're getting sick, the only thing you care about is your health.
Yes, exactly.
And how I try to put it in perspective is, like, you can spend money on takeaways, Uber Eats, alcohol, nights out, ice cream. You can spend all your money on that, But if it means you got to sacrifice that for maybe a couple months and put it into something that's going to better your health, like it's not really an expense.
Yeah.
It's taking money from somewhere to better your life for the long run.
Yes. I think a good way to look at it is it is an investment, because people struggle to put money down on things that are going to benefit their lifestyle, but they would easily just spend on the Uber Eats without, even thinking twice. So it's pretty crazy to think that that's what majority of us would do.
Yeah.
People out there would actually prioritize that kind of stuff over just looking after themselves.
Yeah. And I think when you just change your mindset around that, around the money and the expense, and put it more into this is actually going to better me.
Yeah.
And with knowledge is power. Like once you understand, you understand.
Yeah.
And if you're going to pay, generally you are going to lock in a lot more.
Yes.
If you get something for free or you're paying $5 a week, you're not really going to care if you're taking it on board or even following what you're doing. And you're more often than not, like we've been doing this for many years, like it's the easiest way just to really not care.
Yeah.
And so by putting in that commitment, does go a long way into making sure you get results. And look, you've paid for trainers, dancing, nutrition. We've done it. It's just part and parcel of it.
Yeah, it just has to be done if you want to speed up your results.
Especially when you're new to it. If you're first starting now and you don't know really what to do, or you've been trying for a very long time and you haven't got to your goal weight.
Yeah.
We'd like to work off 500 grams to a kilo a week. So if you're needing to lose 10 kilos, you can sustainably do it within 3 to 4 months. And if you've been trying for now 6 months, a year, unfortunately, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You need some help.
Yeah. The thing is as well is if you get help from a professional, they're giving you a plan. So if you follow the plan, you'll get to the goal that you want to get to. But also because you have a professional helping you, they can give you the knowledge as you go so you understand why you're doing it, which is really cool as well. So you're paying for like a 2-in-1. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anything else on that?
Well, we're the best at it. So come to us.
I didn't want to say these. Yeah, well, that's what we specialize in, right?
Yeah.
And so we've spoken about it in our previous episodes as well, a little bit on how we kind of deal with nutrition and our meal plans when it comes to clients or potential people jumping on board with us. So have a listen to those if you want some more information on that. And then kind of feeding that into training, kind of the side of things. What is something you wish you would do or knew of or implemented at the very start of your training journey? So similar to nutrition, but putting in training aspect.
So for people that are first started off with the gym, or just our exercise?
Yeah, just the exercise. Well, anything that kind of springs to mind. If you obviously started years back training, what is something looking back on now that you, as Brandon, was like, oh God, I wish I knew that, or I wish I did that?
Well, for myself and for clients, I would just say not have the bar too high.
Yes, yeah.
So not like when we first talk to potential clients, people generally want to get back into the gym and exercise, or maybe have 5 workouts a week. And I think if you've gone from 0 workouts to wanting to do 4 or 5 a week, it's the quickest way to kind of give up, or you start hard and fast.
Yeah.
And after a couple months, it's just not been ingrained into your lifestyle at that point. It takes, 90 days?
Yeah, I think it's like 60, 90 days.
I think it's 90 days for a routine to kind of really kick in. So you need to be able to consistently hit something for 3 months. So I think the easiest way is to set the bar lower, but make sure you never not reach that bar.
Yeah.
So if that means you go to the gym twice a week, you always go to the gym twice a week. There's never any excuse.
Yes.
You've set that to yourself. You've set that goal. And if that goal is too high, you need to drop it down.
Yeah, make it realistic, make it achievable.
How would you drop it down?
Well, to kind of look at what you're doing at the moment. So say if I'm currently walking 5,000 steps and that's already a little bit of a struggle, I would maybe up that to 7,000. And I'd do that by doing another walk in the evening or in the morning, whenever suits my schedule, but slowly, because our goal is 10,000 steps. Ideally, that's what we want to be getting. But say if we're doing 5,000, I don't think it's really achievable to go straight to 10,000. Do you agree? Straight away?
Yeah, I mean, like, unless you're willing to really make some lifestyle sacrifices, I think you can get your steps in. If getting to the gym is too difficult, you should be able to up it by at least a couple thousand and just gradually
Great.
progress.
Yeah.
Like we see with our clients with the habit trackers that we've got, you start at like 5,000, then we might up it to 7,000. And before you know it, 7 days a week are being ticked off. Everyone's
Yeah.
getting it. Then we up it a bit more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the base level exercise we
Mm.
recommend.
Yes.
If you cannot get to the gym, the least you need to be doing is getting your steps in.
Yeah. But at least just start small. Like eventually you will be getting to the gym. But if you start putting these small habits in and you're ticking them off as you go, then you can slowly increase those to different areas within your life as well.
Mm.
How frequent do you think you need to stay stuck at a habit until you like can increase it a little bit more? So do you think it's 60 to 90 days for like use walking as an example?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit of a trick
No,
as I was saying
no.
it.
I think I think you need to do it until it's no longer a chore or even a job. It's
Yes.
not even something you think about.
It's enjoyable. Like you're
Yeah,
actually
it's
you just do
if
it.
you just do it without thinking, like
Yeah.
you feel bad if you don't do it.
Yeah.
I think that's the trick. There's no timeline on it. It'd be easy to say every 2 weeks, give yourself a new habit, but for
Yeah.
some people it might be longer. Some people might, no, I wouldn't even say quicker. I think
Mhm.
it does take a while.
Yeah.
It takes a while to build these habits.
Yeah.
But it gets to a point where, we work with clients who, when they first start, they haven't been to the gym in ages and it's all foreign to them. And then now they say they feel weird if they don't go to the gym.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember that feeling for myself as well, like looking back and just like the first couple times missing the gym and being like, oh, I feel like shit, or like I just feel like my day's not going to be productive, or I just feel like a little bit of a slob. And I would have not had previously thought like that at all.
Yeah. Because for the viewers and that, like I've always kind of been in the gym with my footy days playing league. When I was
Yeah.
like 13, 14, I was already training. But Monique, you didn't really start training till a few years ago, really?
Yeah, but I probably started at 14, like because mum, dad, and our other brother went to
But
the
when did you consistently start going
consistently,
gym?
yeah, but a few years ago, say
Yeah.
from like 2021,
Yeah.
2020,
Yeah.
around about then.
So you were in your, what, mid to late 20s?
Oh,
then?
you're going to reveal a woman's age, are you? Savage. I'll get you back at another date, don't you worry.
But
you had a big party a couple of years back, didn't you?
But like, what changed for you? Why were you able to like
Do you know
stick
what?
to the gym?
Do you know what? And this kind of feeds into our next topic. It's probably my mindset. My
Yeah.
mindset changed massively. I started going to the gym a couple of times a week, and then I think that changed my mindset in terms of like I can see the benefits that this is providing me with my physical, but mainly my mindset. Like I was just getting happier and I was more productive, and it just literally changed everything at the top, and that's what's kind of stuck, and that's been something that stuck with me over the years as well. I don't really go for, obviously it's great to get physical and like feel stronger and everything, but god, my mind I think is so strong now because of my weight training.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about exercise. And going back to what we said with habits and just starting off being consistent,
Yeah.
is you just gain strength, not even physically,
Yeah.
mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're more mentally stronger, everything else gets easier.
Yes.
Not even the weights, life,
Yeah.
sticking to your word, doing
Yeah.
things that you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Because you've made a promise to yourself. You go to the gym, what is it, 3, 4,
Mm-hmm.
5 times a week. But whatever that is, that's your like pillar that keeps you
Yes.
grounded.
Yeah.
And because you do that consistently and you're not lying to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to translate to other areas.
Yeah, yeah. So that kind of already took us into the next topic, which is mindset. So how big of a role do you think mindset plays in overall life?
Oh, I think it's everything. I honestly think it's everything.
Mm.
Like just being straight up, like anyone can follow a plan. Like a plan to lose weight is actually quite simple.
Yes, yeah.
Obviously, we make it so it's try to make it more enjoyable by putting in nice foods and snacks and things like
Yeah.
that. But ultimately, a plan to lose 500 grams to a kilo a week is very simple.
Yes.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
And it's just about doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I feel doing it comes down to mindset.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where the actual tough part is for
Mhm.
most people. It's changing your mindset.
Yeah.
And I think you can only change your mindset is if it means enough for you
Yeah.
to want to change.
Yeah. It is like, how do you think you change your mindset? Because that would be a question that people kind of wonder, right?
I think when the pain becomes more,
Yeah. Mhm.
then like the pain is so much, it's now worth going through the shit you're gonna have to get through
Yeah.
to get to your goal.
Yeah.
You have just finally had enough.
Mhm.
And that's a common theme I have when I speak to clients that have gone through a transformation. And I say to them, like, what was the changing point? And that's the overwhelming response
Yeah.
I get. And the good thing is, they always say when they reach their result that they are now happier and more mentally stronger because of the work that they put in.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and it comes down to like just not lying to yourself.
Mhm.
Because I have clients that have told me that they used to tell everyone they felt good when they were 20 kilos overweight. When they lose that 20 kilos, they start saying, actually, I was never happy.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't as happy as I was saying I
Yeah.
was, because it's just the easier deflection.
Yeah. Well, your mind's probably weak, right? And you're telling yourself that you're happy and you're okay, but you're actually not.
Well, you got to ask yourself, like, if you're someone who's looking all the time at weight loss things or supplements, like, that's a telling point.
Yes.
That's a telling point. You need to now overcome this
Yeah.
and strengthen your mind just as much as you want
Mhm.
to do the actual work.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the same boat, like really, if you're not worried about your weight, you shouldn't be. You've got nothing to worry about. But if
Yeah.
you are worried about your weight and you're not losing weight,
Yes.
it's your mindset
Yeah.
that we need to look at.
Yeah. And how good is it to have such a strong mindset as well? Because you back yourself in so many different areas of your
Yeah,
life.
but like it comes with everything, and like it's not like saying we've got the best mindsets or anything like that,
Yeah.
because there's days that we feel down and things are tough and
Mhm.
we feel like saying screw
Giving
this.
up. Yeah.
But it just comes with consistency of going back to the habits,
Yeah.
doing the same boring, tedious things over and over again,
Mhm.
become easy, and now they're no longer a chore.
Yes.
And that's kind of how you get results.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that's how you get happiness
Mhm.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. But like, even you touched on having a strong mindset, but some days we do feel like giving up, and that is okay as well. Like, as long as your mindset is strong enough to get back on the roller coaster, say the next day,
Yes.
that's the main thing, and that's where the strong or the weak mindset, I think, changes. Because if you're in
Yeah.
a weak mindset, then you're saying, okay, the next day, I still don't feel great. I'm just gonna chill again.
Yes. I actually had a good talk with a female client of mine yesterday. And like being upfront, she had fallen off the wagon the last month after
Mhm.
starting the year very strong, down 6 kilos.
Yeah.
Had fallen off, and we finally got on a call and we were talking about all this. And I asked her like, what was what
The
made her
point.
fall
Yeah.
off? And it was just situations had changed,
Mhm.
things had changed, and she felt like a failure and everything was difficult. And I got up all her graphs and that, and it was just a lot of negative talk.
Yes.
And I said, well, what have you done right?
Mhm.
And she couldn't even give me an answer. But her weight actually hadn't changed in the last month.
Yes.
And although she wasn't doing everything she wanted to, she unknowingly was still getting her steps in and still a little bit mindful of what she was eating.
Yeah.
And I said to her, look, you're not always going to be smashing it.
Mhm.
But the good thing is you haven't gone backwards.
Yeah.
You're still at the same weight you were a month ago. You're
Yeah.
still 6 kilos down. And now that she's ready to lock back in,
Mhm.
her mindset is more fresh. She's ready to go.
Yeah.
And she's starting from 6 kilos less than when she was at the start.
Yeah, that's
Which,
cool.
another 6 kilos. And then that's kind of the goal weight
Yeah.
that she was after.
Yeah.
And just changing that mindset, thinking of the positives,
Mhm.
because for people on a weight loss journey, it is going to be a huge change of your life.
Yeah.
And you need to take the wins, take the little
Yeah.
positives you're doing, because it's not always going to be 5 times a week at the gym and clean eating. There
Yeah.
are going to be hiccups.
Yeah, but it's so hard for some people to take the time, I think, to see the positives. So that's potentially where, if you take the time to notice those changes and those good habits that you've built, is when you're going to start to believe in yourself a bit more, and your mindset gets a bit stronger as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, the mindset is massive. But yeah, we're forever learning as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But your mindset's changed. You think you've gotten
Oh,
strong?
definitely. I think like my mindset's changed more around the business side of
Yeah, I
things.
agree.
Um, and like I will only say that because of my habits with the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that it's
Set in stone.
so set in stone to
Yeah,
like everything else that I do, um, that it makes everything else that I do
yeah.
like a lot easier. Like, we deal with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with a lot of people, and it can be easy to take on other people's
Loads and
loads and
stresses.
stresses and trying to help other people. That sometimes it's hard to help ourselves.
Yeah,
The only way we've been able to like help people is because luckily we've trained up our minds to try be strong. So when people are struggling, we can still give them the help that they need
yeah.
without it taking a big toll on us.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're dealing with the amount of people that we can deal with on a week,
Yeah.
it can easily
It's a lot.
consume you.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, and you got to be careful of that. But it's great that we can even see that. We acknowledge that
Yeah.
can be a potential that can happen. So it's looking after ourselves so that we can look after others at the same time. That was a bit cute, wasn't
Yeah, I like that. You have to caption that one.
it? Moving on to our last topic, which is our business. What's been happening? Well, how does actually let's stay on mindset because I'm so strong about it right now.
Yeah.
We've had a good convo on it. How does that relate to our business with our mindset?
Yeah, so like we've just touched on, the only reason we're still here grinding,
Mm-hmm.
working our butts off is because of our mindset.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, there's some days that things are tough, then there's days where things are amazing. But I think we like to use this, so we're an analogy for
Oh
like our,
God.
our, our clients,
Yeah.
on their weight loss journey.
Yeah.
I don't want to quit
Mm-hmm.
because if I quit, how can I help others? How can I
Yes.
tell others to stick to the plan
Yeah.
if we're not sticking to a plan?
Yeah.
The tough thing for us is our plan actually isn't set in stone. Like
Well, we don't have a plan as such.
we
There's no
like
clear
like
pathway.
everyone's got a plan, but where
Mm.
we need to get to, there's a million different ways of getting there.
Yes.
Whereas like a weight loss journey, I've lost 10 kilos through a
Mm-hmm.
nutritionist. The plan is the plan. You follow the
You follow
plan,
it.
you get the result.
Yeah.
With like for anyone running a business, they all know this. There is no plan.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guideline. There's a
Yeah.
trajectory you want to get to, but
Yeah.
how you get there can go so many different ways.
Yeah.
And that's the tough thing.
Yeah.
That's a very tough thing. There's
Yeah.
nothing set in stone, and that's just the mindset side of
Mm-hmm.
things.
Yeah, definitely. Well, with a business, there's so many different things that come into it. It's not just like with our business, we're trying to do a lot at once, right? Trying to run a business, but also help people and then film content. Like we're trying content creators. There's so many different things. But like you said, if you are on a weight loss journey and you have a plan that's given to you by a professional, you literally just follow that and you get the result. And
Mm.
it's a little bit different for us, but the mindset definitely helps. But it's still hard at times, isn't it?
It
So
is. It is. But mindset's forever a thing that you're working on.
yeah.
And I know like mindset's such a hairy fairy word. And I was always like, what the heck is even
What is it?
mindset?
Yeah.
But I've started to realize more recently, everything is in your mind.
Everything.
Every
It's crazy how much.
literally everything's in your mind.
Yeah.
So if you can have a strong mind, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah.
And you only get a strong mind by sticking to what you say you're going to do
Mm-hmm.
and just always doing it.
Yeah. Because that reminds me, I set myself a goal going a little bit off topic, but last year to run 10Ks by the end of the year. And I had done like 5Ks before that, and I knew wasn't going to, like, I thought to myself, I told myself I cannot do 10. But I ended up running that day, and I did 12, which was massive for me. But I knew it was just my mindset because running is something you can do. You can just continue to run, or you can run
Yeah.
forever. But it's all in your mind and how strong it is if you can push yourself to do something you say you're going to do. And I think that's the main thing as well, is sticking to, if you tell yourself that you're going to do something, just making sure you can do it. And that brings us back to, with our training side of things, the slow progression. So slowly doing things, and then so that you can get to the end goal. But mindset, it gets me going, mindset talk does.
Yeah, well, I think it's important.
Yeah.
And people need to take the time to probably even look into it a bit themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't be the experts on
Everything.
yeah.
Well, we could try.
We
Give us a
try.
couple years.
But this we say this purely from our experiences
Mhm.
and working with hundreds of clients in person
Yeah.
and online. So that's why we say this, to try give people some guidelines or support around what we see,
Yeah.
and those clients that do very well and those that need a bit more support. The big difference is the mindset,
Yeah.
because
Definitely.
some people can get given the same plan, some people will follow it, get awesome results,
Yeah.
others might drop off.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Mhm.
Because the other thing you got to take into account is everyone has an excuse.
Mhm.
Everyone, those that
Yes.
reach that result and those that don't, we
Yeah.
all have the same.
We have excuses.
And
Yeah.
in a way, this might sound bad, but it's kind of selfish to think that you've got excuses that won't get you to your result.
Yeah.
Because you're now thinking you can't get there because of other things outside of your
External
control,
factors. Yeah.
which is in a way selfish.
Yeah.
Because 7 billion people on this planet, everyone's going through the same shit.
Mhm.
Everyone has their own problems.
Yeah.
Everyone's going through stuff.
Yeah.
So you need to get past that
Yeah.
and go into that growth mindset
Yeah.
way of thinking.
I love that. That's some hard truths, but I'm all about hard truths. So
Yeah.
people need to hear it. Tell them more. But yeah, we'll leave it there anyway. If you do have any questions on mindset or just anything that we've touched on, make sure you pop them in the comments so we can answer them in the next episodes. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. Thank you for watching, as always. Like, subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, and be a bit more of a chill one next week. We've gone pretty full on today with
Yeah,
the
with the
mindset. So,
mindset.
but like we say it to help you guys.
Yeah.
And we want to see everyone do well. So if you are tuning in and watching these, take some notes or ask some questions.
Yeah.
Because we'd love to kind of refer to people
Mhm.
and help them out. So
Yeah.
feel free to do that.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.